And you're listening to the DaDojo Podcast. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You being a teacher and then you being a
social worker.
There's been rumbles all over TikTok about our youth being led astray. As a teacher, what is that? What insight do you have to provide for that? Like, is it more difficult to be a student right now, or what's playing?
Well, I think that conversation is very nuanced, but on a surface level, I would say the main thing that's plaguing the kids right now is the iPads. These kids, they've grown up since they were youth, just having thrown iPads at them the whole time. And they don't know how to communicate with people, be personal. A lot of the lessons that we learned when we were growing up was outside, playing, going on bike rides, being with other kids. They have been staring at a screen since they were like about 6 months old. So it's very hard to get them to break bad habits. And it just seems like they've been worse than the previous generation of kids so far.
So you don't think people are overreacting? Like there's an actual problem going on with school systems?
No, it's certainly not an overreaction. Like, these children are at a dire need for social skills. Their comprehension skills are lower than ever before. Like, it's not a game. Like, when people are saying these things on TikTok, I mean, some of it might just be for shock value, for clicks, but I'm seeing it every day. It's going on. Like, these kids really do need help bad.
Where is you know what? Okay, that's fair. Let's tackle the iPad aspect of it. So, do you think that parents are just dropping in quality, or is it like a whole societal thing? Because I feel like there's multiple ways you can look at the problem of teaching and students and the way that they're actually impacting their learning. One, I think a lot of kids are more narcissistic than ever before. Is there like an overarching reason for people to change the way that? Is there an overarching reason for people to be changing the way that they are at such a radical rate?
This is the theory that I've been having, because I've thought about this for a while now. Okay. And the theory that I have is that the generation of parents that we have now are plainly just unserious. And let me explain to you why I think that. I think like when the parents that we have right now, when they were growing up, it was more so they didn't really have such a close connection with their parents. They didn't feel connected to their parents. It was always, I'm not one of your little friends. Now,
like our parents?
Yeah, our parents talking to us. Okay. Now it's more like they're overcorrecting for that lack of a relationship they had, where it's like, now I'm my kid's best friend. And now their world is like, their world revolves all around the kid. The kid is so self-centered. They will defend their kid first, and now they're basically like their kid's lawyer instead of their actual parent. That's what it's really becoming to.
So I always want to pick my words very carefully when it does come to the parent-child-teacher dynamic, because I feel like in a lot of instances, not only are teachers put in the position to nearly raise your kid, but also the parent doesn't understand that they're being raised, not by them, but their peers and the teachers that are there around for the 8 hours consistently, right? And then alongside that, with parents, I feel like they have a difficulty trying to detract the two, trying to heal their childhood self while also raising this little dude as well. Because it's difficult. I'm like, honestly, the older I get, the more grace that I give my parents, because literally a step below, not hates, but like very, y'all are the most unserious individuals ever. And then I realized it's just difficult. It's genuinely difficult. Yeah, because it's like, I remember my mom was talking to me about this once, right? You know what? I'm gonna rewind a little bit. I remember one of my homeboys was talking to me, and his dad his dad, my uncle, was breaking down how they stopped. He was breaking down the reason why he never wanted to go to their games, why they go to their basketball games ever. And he explained it as, well, I had to wake up and send y'all to school, right? And then I had to go to work 16 hours, right? Go to bed, wake up, and then send you to school. But now, instead of me going to sleep for the 6 to 5 measly hours, you want me to take one of those hours and go to your game that you're not even going to play it. I would just
That's cold. That's cold.
And honestly, just instances like that make me look back at the relationship that I had with my parents. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I might have been wrong in a lot of these instances. Do you guys?
No, because I see it a lot, bro. Like, we're also just ungrateful. Like, we don't realize, like you said, like, our parents are working 16 hours. Like, my dad being who he is, like, working them like crazy overtime. And, like, I remember I had the same exact thing. Like, it was a scrimmage that we had at Blaine. And, like, you know how scrimmages are. You get, like, 10 reps max, and, like, it's over. You go home. I want you to drive from Ramsey all the way to Burnsville to watch me scrimmage and play 10 reps and then go home. And it was my junior year, so I wasn't even playing for it. I was getting reps with JV, so it's like, why are you driving this far? So, like, it made sense. And, like, my brother having wrestle tournaments, and, like, the wrestle state championships are all the way in Rochester. You want me to drive all the way here so then you get tired and quit the first round and then drive back home and, like, spend hotel and all that? Like, yeah. So we're just mad ungrateful that they even did that for us.
And even on that point, I didn't even realize, even as I'm complaining, I have an older brother and an older sister that had it a whole lot worse because they just freshly came from Nigeria trying to grow something so you could actually have enough money to go to set school and go to practice and da-da-da-da. Not even to mention I have a little brother that's actually good at the sport too. Yeah. So trying to pick what to put the limited energy they have left into their kids, it's a very difficult aspect on it.
It is.
But as it goes towards teaching, is there like besides the iPad, because I feel like iPad kids, they're going to be running the world for the individuals that understand how to actually use their iPad and stuff like that. Because of like, there's a lot of parents that I've seen where they're not just letting their kids just live on social media or electronics or things of that nature. They're using it as like here is this ultimate tool that literally knows everything. And as long as you're curious, you can learn everything as well. But I feel like there's just a lack of kids not wanting to learn. Like the things that they value is not the same things that people were valuing back then because their eyes have been opened to so much where it's like, I don't care about English. I barely care about math. So why do you think that I'm going to come here and pay attention for an hour and a half for these classes when I can just be on my phone? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the good and the evil when it comes to all the technology and stuff now. Because at some point we're going to get to a point where they won't even need teachers. It's just going to be all downloadable and everyone's just going to learn the lesson through screens. I mean, so there's no way to avoid it.
Before you get into that, how's the socialization aspect of schooling?
It's terrible right now because, like, you have kids who won't even get off their screen for a second to socialize with any kids around them. And then you have the kids who were outside, who were off their screen, and now they're like a nuisance in the class because they're actually wanting to engage in conversation. So it's like this weird dynamic between the kids who still want to socialize with the rest of their peers and then the kids who are just isolated in their screens. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just crazy because, like, I have students of mine that, like, are like me when I was younger. Like, they like to go outside and play football. And then they get around the kids that are, like, just the nerds that are always on their laptops, always on their iPads. And it's like, why are you harassing me or why are you bullying me or making fun? He's trying to be your friend. But because you are so, like, I kind of related to, like, how pornography ruined dating for men. And, like, we don't get to see women for who they truly are because we're looking at a screen so long and, like, we just make this fantasy. It's the same for how kids are always on their phones and, like, they're not, like, exposed to, like, real life. So when they get to real life, they're like, what is this? Like, this is not what I see on TikTok. So I'm going to go back into my hole and, like, be stuck in that box.
Have you ever seen that one video where this kid, their parent, like, moved them to the side and then they had, like, a full-on freak out because they wanted to move them and grab their, like, iPad? genuine, like, oh my God, sat on the ground, started hitting the ground, just like a whole thing. I feel like videos like that have been popping up so recently, and just so frequently as well, where it's like, I feel like
This video is brought to you by Reapers Reap, a local Minnesota clothing brand. Like I say, shouts out to y'all. This is one of the more softer hoodies I've ever had. Highly appreciate it. And if you want to grab yourself a pair, they have a wide variety of colors, literally every single colorway. This is my favorite one. A little shot in the bag. Link in bio, click it, get you a couple pairs.
social regulation is limited in these kids because they're not being socialized in a quote unquote correct way.
And I think part of it too is it could end up working in their favor. Like you said, some kids are using the screens, iPads, everything as a tool to benefit themselves. It could end up working in their favor because even as a society, we are going towards more or less people coming in, working in offices, doing group work, leadership skills, all of that. Like, these were tools that we had to give students that were necessary for them to be successful, to even make money in the workplace, like social skills. But now they can even come in, Zoom everything, stay at home, do that, and they can thrive through that way. So some kids are going to benefit from this, and some kids won't. It's just like, it's tough. It's tough.
And the sense that you're actually like in the field, what are you seeing?
I mean, right now I'm seeing, like, I don't want to put the blame on the kids, because at the end of the day, kids are going to do dumb stuff. Like, that's just what kids do, no matter what generation it is. But I think the onus is more on the parents, because the parents are just not parenting how they used to.
Why do you keep coming back to that? Like, what are you seeing that most people are not?
Like, as a teacher, students have, like, the students that I've experienced recently, they have no respect towards authority at all. Like, no respect towards authority, and the parents back them in that. Instead of, if me saying to a student, yo, I'm gonna call your mom, that does not give any fear anymore. That is okay, call her. She's gonna be on my side anyways. That's what the parents are giving. So the parents are coming, not wanting to hear anything bad about their children. They can't hear any criticism about their children. They're coming in ready to defend the kids right away. So that gives them. Why would a 12-year-old respect authority if he knows that whatever he does, his parents are going to back him no matter what? So it's like, it comes back to the parenting at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is. Like, kids just, I'm not going to get in trouble, so I'm going to do what I want to do. And even if you do call my parents, okay, now they're going to get mad at you and come at you, so I'm going to come back to school. So it's like, yeah, it's just, there's no way to really combat that.
Before y'all pulling up, I was having a conversation with a couple teachers, and one of the big consistent things that they were saying was they needed the backing of the school, but they never had it. The backing of the school board, backing of the superintendents. But anytime parents would just like throw a fit at all, they're like, oh yeah, no, we will nearly fire you over this. Please be serious type of vibe. And it's like, I feel like there's handcuffs when it does come to teaching your kid, because it's like, you've seen these videos of kids being able to get in teachers' faces and like get all up and stuff of that nature, and they know there's no consequences. There's nothing that's coming after this. And do you think that's going to be do you think it would at least help the kid in the long term, like the fact that they have this relationship with their parent?
I mean, yeah, you can look at it two ways. I mean, the fact that they do have that relationship with their parent where they feel like no matter what they do, they're always going to have their parents backing. Like, that is a relationship that the parents of these kids have been longing for from their parents. So I feel like it's an overcorrection of some sort, because it could also lead to them just not having regard for anyone because they have that backing from their parents. And to the thing you said about the school board, it's almost more, it's becoming like a retail mentality where it's like the customer's always right, and in this case, the customer's the parent. So they're gonna go on the parent side.
Parents pay the school?
No, but the parents don't pay the school, but the parents have authority over the school board when it comes to complaints or nothing. if it comes to taking the side of the teacher or the parent, it's going to be the parent every time. So that's why teachers have to tread lightly when it comes to situations like that.
How does that shape the actual learning curriculum?
For the curriculum, it doesn't have an effect as much because it's like basically you see it and teach it. But I think as far as the effect that teachers are having on students' lives is being limited because they can't really overstep, because at the end of the day, it's what the parents want that's going to be requested by the school board and by the district.
That, and then there's also 30 other kids in that classroom. So I think that's why it's important for like social workers or student achievement advisors or counselors or like sped parents to come into the classroom too, because if they're not in there and it's just a teacher, it's one teacher against 30 little kids or 30 high school kids, which is, you're not going to win that battle, because then you have 30 parents that are going to come down your neck too. But it's like, I think what's helpful, especially like when we were doing Freedom School or where I'm at now, there's so many support staff. So it's like, if one student's tripping, you have 5 other staff members that can account that like, no, we're not the problem, because all 5 of us had the same experience with your one child. So either you fix your one child or like really stop sending him like to this place because it's not helping him at all, helping him or her at all.
No, I vibe with that. And then spinning off that from the Freedom, what do you call it?
Freedom School.
What does that mean? For those that do not know.
Freedom School is a reading-based program to help.
It's a reading?
Yeah, it's a reading-based program. It's a reading curriculum for students of color. It was actually founded back in the civil rights movement. It was basically just to show students that they matter and then represent them in books. So all the books that we read are main characters of color, and letting students of color see themselves represented over the time. It's a summer program. You know, we take them on different trips, and it's really just a joy to be a part of, just getting kids that usually don't do well in school, normal school, in the regular setting, excelling and doing better because they have, one, teachers that look like them, and they're doing a curriculum based on
Is that overrated? Having kids, teachers that look like them?
Absolutely not. Like that, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be a teacher, because I had one teacher throughout my whole K through 12 that was black, and he was the reason that I wanted to become a teacher. That just made a whole difference in my whole career path in life.
You know what? And then speaking on that real quick, I feel like when it does come to being black in these positions where you're literally reshaping the minds of the youth, especially the black youth, especially in my job, anytime that I'm interacting with someone that's like anyone that's black and young, the main thing that I try and like force them to understand, this time period, you only have a year or 2 to mess up left before you're trying to climb out of a hole when you're 47, still trying to get a degree, trying to do and still trying to learn these little skills such as work ethic, the ability to read for more than 10 minutes, or the ability to critical think and put yourself in different positions to actually excel. If you're not going to lock in, you might just ruin it, period. And being the fact that I do look like them, I feel like they understand it, because it's not coming from a quote-unquote place of authority, but it's just coming from a place of just a black dude. This is a black dude trying to put me on some game. That's all that it's coming from. So I feel like that helps it to a different extreme. Do you feel like when it does come to being black in this group that is primarily white individuals, do you think that you can at least get through to the kids, and do you even want to get through to the kids at the end of the day?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've only really been in the classroom 2 years, and every single room I've been in, I've had the kid that's been a problem in every class, that's behavior issues every day. But just me being a black male presence, automatically they're more receptive to learn. They're more excited. I'm teaching them the same thing. I'm not giving them a different curriculum than any other white teacher is giving them. I'm giving them the same thing, but just me being who I am, they're already more receptive to learn, just because they don't feel like I'm coming at them, I guess talking down on them, because I know exactly what it feels like to be them. So like it drastically makes a difference.
even for the white students too, it's like when you see something new or have something new, you want to be more curious about it. You want to, like, you're more intrigued by it. So it's like at my school, like the white students, the Asian students are more inclined to talk to me because there's not, like, they've never seen me before. Like, there's black teachers at my school, luckily, but like, what do? You're not a teacher, so like, why are you here? So let me tell you why I'm here. And then, like, it so happens, like, it's not, like, when I was an intern in the district last year, it was like I got all the bad kids. That's all I got. And they were always the bad black kids that needed a male figure. Or it's like, what about the women? Like, what about Asian students? What about Mexican students that also need just as much help? And like the Hispanic students that need just as much help because they have no one that looks like them. So it's like when you have a person of color in any building, you can outreach even more because it's like, even though I'm not Hispanic, I can still help you out because I know what it looks like to be a person of color in a predominantly white space. Yeah.
I feel that. Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. Honestly, I feel like you guys are in the very unique position where it's like they can still see y'all as like a person that they would be upset to disappoint. Because I feel like that's like the main thing that it is, especially coming to when it comes to teaching, especially young black kids, because it's like, all right, it's one thing if I'm just not listening to this old white lady that I don't even know for real. It's like, oh, you know, this could be like my older brother, like, in all honesty, because like, you're what, maybe 6 years older at most. So it's like y'all are in the age range where it's like, yeah, no, I know what I've been through, what you've been through. I've seen the same memes, I've seen the same shows,
the same thing.
all those things. So the reason why you're acting out could be because you're bored, or it could be because you don't have anybody to look towards to. At least just know that I can understand the minimal things you're going through. Yeah. Was there like we're this is gonna be like the last serious question, then we'll do more jokes, but this part's going to LinkedIn. But yeah, no. Is there a way that you can? You know what? I feel like you mentioned something that's interesting. What is this fatherlessness that you were mentioning earlier?
Yeah, bro. Like, it's insane the amount of kids that don't have a dad. And like, going back to like disappointing someone, when you have your parents as your lawyer, as he was saying, you don't have anyone to disappoint. So like, when you run into someone like him or me, and I'm like, dude, you're about to be in sixth grade next year, middle school. It gets serious after this. Why can you not read or do math? Like, being able to tell a kid, like, you suck at what you're doing. Like, you really need to do better at this, or you're not going to go to sixth grade. And they're like, wow. Because your parents are not going to break that down to you because, oh, it's okay, sweetie, we're going to figure it. You're not going to figure it out because you are not trying to figure it out. So when you have someone to disappoint, it just helps you try a lot more. And when it's not coming from a white woman, it's coming from someone that's been through the same thing you have been through, you're inclined to try a lot harder. And that's what I'm seeing with like a lot of the students. Like, even at Freedom School, it's like, because those are middle schoolers, so you can have that, like, get your shit together, or else, and like, they'll just get it together. Because it's like,
I could talk to you in
AAVE. Now, if not now, when?
Exactly. I could talk to you in AAVE, and you can know that I'm being serious with you. Like, this is like the bottom of the barrel. Like you were saying before, the fact that you can't even read at a third grade level, and you're at the fifth grade, it only gets harder to learn how to read harder books. Literally, because of I was looking at an interview where it's like the way that it's set up. A lot of kids, they can't move up because the material that they're reading in the class in and of itself is below. And you can't learn how to be better than your own grade level if it's below your grade level. Because that even works in literally any other field. Like, the youngins that are good at basketball, for example, they're not good because they were whooping on the people their own grade. No, they play JV when they're in 8th grade. Things like that. So.
Yeah. Because you have some stats on like the reading program, and like, you're more inclined to go to jail if you can't read by this level.
Yeah, I mean, reading is just so powerful. It's essential in any field of life you're gonna walk into. I mean, it's just like, it baffles me the amount of kids that their parents know that their reading level is far below and are not willing to do anything about it. And it's like,
they know that they can
catch up.
Oh, okay, that's what even
catch up.
It's just a phase. I hear that a lot. It's just a phase. They'll get over it.
Wait, what do you mean it's just a phase?
Like,
Them
they're
can't
just not talking, or they're just not speaking, or they're not trying because it's just a phase. Their brother went through it, they'll get over it too. Where it's like, no, your child actually qualifies for like a lot of disorders and like needs a lot of special attention, but because your pride is too high, because you're their lawyer, you don't see that. But now you have 5 other staff members telling you that like your son is not going to be able to read in the next few years.
Yeesh. How much parents do you think can notice these things?
Depends the age range of parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if you're a grandparent raising your granddaughter because like their parents weren't there, it's a lot harder to notice it because these kids are just different nowadays. Like for instance, like imagine how your son will be versus how you are to your grandparents. It just looks different. Like you're a totally different kid. And it's like when you have even like the young parents that are raising kids, it's like you're still a kid too. You still have a lot to learn. You're having a kid before 25. You haven't even, your brain hasn't developed. So like you're just trying to figure it out just like they're trying to figure it out. And you forget like how to actually lead and be a parent because you've never had to be that before.
Where is it to go for now then? How can that change a lot? Actually, why can't kids read?
The thing is, it goes back to the screen again. Their attention span is so limited because look, they watch 15 seconds of TikToks. If it's boring, skip it, swipe up, swipe up. Well, you can't swipe up the book. The words on the page is what's on the page. So you gonna have to sit there and figure it out. And they just don't want to do it. They just don't want to work it out. I mean, like if some words were hard on them, you know, you look at it, try and sound it out. If they can't comprehend it on the first look, they're gonna leave it. They're just gonna drop it.
Oh, okay.
And their parents couldn't read either. Like that also plays a big part.
Yeah, yeah, they even think that. Yeah.
Because like when you think about it, like our parents, all of our parents went to school, got college degrees. A lot of these parents have not even finished college because they're so young, and like they're trying to. If you can't read, how are you gonna tell me to read? Like if Johnny has 5 apples, I'm not caring about Johnny because you don't even know how many apples he has. So it's like just the lack of knowledge that these parents have, and like just bro, it all goes back to parenting. Like absolutely.
Do you think how does it affect other fields? Like, for example, we've talked about the lack of authority. Do you think that's transitioning to sports, to things of that nature? Where you need to have that general structure, the person that's willing to go down your throat because you're just like, you have to do it this way. That is the way to do it.
It's affecting sports too. You see the video with the Florida wide receiver that slapped his coach's hand out of the way because he was upset?
Yeah.
When in life could we have done that to our coach and still been able to play in the game?
Nah, that's crazy.
Never.
Oh, wow.
Like these kids actually don't fear anybody. And it's like, what can you do to make, like, because yelling at them is not going to make them fear you. So it's like, I think the best approach right now for these kids is like, I care about you and you suck. You need to do better. Because, like, I don't care what age you are. That's going to hit you hard. Yeah. So it's like, now I'm going to lock in.
I'm seeing a lot of teachers quit. Like, a teacher that I had in middle school is just, they haven't been a teacher for like a while now. And I thought they were going to die being a teacher. That's what I thought their life was going to be. But no, they're like, I just can't with these kids anymore. So as teachers are leaving, what's going to have to change? Because it's like superintendents are going down at these teachers' throats trying to have them teach a certain way. But it's like, what are you going to do? Fire me and hire who? To do what?
The teacher shortage is real, and a lot of it happened during the COVID time.
Yeah,
there was a switch. Teachers just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like they, I run the middle of COVID. Teachers were fed up. Like they were done with it. Like the switch going from having all their lessons set and then all of a sudden going online. Nobody's turning anything in. You can't hold anyone accountable.
Yeah.
They just went crazy at that. A lot of teachers quit because of that. I mean, going forward, I think the best thing, like the school boards can do, the superintendents can do to advise teachers, to incentivize teachers to stay, is just give them support. Because right now, teachers feel like everything is coming at them, and they have no one to really run to support them. So the best thing to do to retain teachers is they have to feel backed by the people that employ them, just like any employee.
Honestly, on the or you go.
And pay them. I'm not gonna go to work and because if I'm a teacher, life revolves, like life happens because I'm there. Like we don't have professions if we don't have teachers. So if you're not gonna pay me to make President Barack Obama exist, I'm not coming to work anymore. I'm gonna give up too.
And that's the thing that's the next thing I was about to come with, because I feel like there's a blame that's being put on teachers, especially recently, where it's like, well, why aren't you able to teach these kids? Why aren't you getting them to actually get excited to learn about math and English and da 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 da? And it's like, I feel like that's not their job to get them excited. I feel like a teacher's whole job is to, here is the step-by-step of what you need to do, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm not going to force you to do anything. I promise I won't. I can't force you to do anything. So it sets them up in such a position where they're trying to chuck and jive and do all these dances to try and get you to compete with TikTok. And it's like, how? So even on that, the money aspect, I think it's really missing, because I feel like there's such little respect on teachers. Where one of the main things I hear a lot before this pod, I put out like a little Q&A of questions to ask teachers, right? And one of the person asked was like, well, why do they feel like they need to get paid more when they get 3 months off during summer? And I'm like, the first thing I was thinking to myself is, first of all, at most is a month, because it takes a while to actually prepare for the school year. 2, they probably get less than a month if they're a summer school teacher. And 3, they need more time. They need more break. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So the pay part is really interesting, because teachers rarely ever just teach, because they literally just don't make enough to just teach.
They're a coach.
Teachers have to coach. They have to do clubs, and then they're in the summer. They probably have a whole nother job just to survive. So the 3 months off thing is like,
It's not real.
It's not real. It's simply not real, because the amount of time, the amount of trainings that teachers do in the summer, the amount of new lessons plans that they learn, and then they have to prepare for a whole new roster or a whole new group of students. Don't let it be like a middle school teacher or a high school teacher that has different periods. Now you're preparing for a different group of classes, not just kids. You're preparing for a whole different group of classes. Like, it takes a lot of preparation and work just to start to get to the first day. And then the first day comes and you're dealing with different personalities. And you're not just dealing with the personalities, you're dealing with the parents of those personalities too. Like,
Yeah.
all of that together it deserves. And people, I think the thing is, people understand like teachers are important, because everyone has to go to school, so they understand teachers are important. But the thing is, I don't think people understand how many decisions teachers have to make and how integral those decisions are to your kid's success. And that's why they deserve to be paid more.
They make the world go round too. Like, for social workers, my job is to support a student and their family. For teachers, they have to do that. Then they have to teach. They have to be a therapist. They have to be, like, especially in elementary, they have to be the football ref. At recess, they have to be the nurse. They have to be the parent. And you have to be a babysitter, too, in a daycare for 8 hours a day. And you expect, they literally have 25 professions in one. And you expect them to just do that one? Yeah, nah.
Honestly, I feel like the removal of teachers and teachers quitting is gonna really show itself when you have these kids that don't understand social skills and how to navigate different people and different personalities. Because I feel like the first thing I said about this episode, I was like, I feel like there's these little narcissists that are running around thinking that everyone should behave in this certain way, and when they don't, it actually breaks their mind because they're confused that you're not acting the way I thought you were gonna act.
Yeah.
And to move on from the more serious aspects of this conversation, time for the jokes. So I feel like we're not giving these little kids enough credit because of, weren't y'all not baby kids? Were y'all not acting out?
Like, I went home and got spanked. I got whoopings. I didn't come home and play Fortnite all day. Like, it was as soon as I got home, work on spelling, work on history, work on whatever you had to do, and then you can go outside. These kids get home, throw their stuff on the ground, and play video games all night. So it's like there's no accountability, there's no responsibility. So I was a heathen, but like I also got,
you had respect.
yeah, like
My thing is, okay, one thing I strongly dislike saying is that one generation is worse than another one. Because, first of all, I haven't experienced every generation, and also every generation has had their troubles because of what they had to deal with. But with this generation of children, I can certainly say that I have not seen anything worse than this.
Yeah.
Just because all kids are going to do dumb things. They're going to do dumb stuff. Mm-hmm. But these kids, they have no consequences, so they won't stop. It's just like, why stop? Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep going and keep going. And it's just like, until they become adults and get into the real world and have consequences, they're not going to be able to see that what they're doing is wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. One of the things to kind of piggyback off that point, I feel like there's a shortage of kids that truly want to be great in the school field anymore, just to begin with, because I feel like it takes a whole lot of grinding to be like semi good at math. Like there's people like some of our homeboys literally thrive for the greatness of being able to quantum mechanics and quantum physics and things of that nature, whereas like you can't get to that point if you're not trying to do math and read and excel when you're like a first grader trying to pay attention to things of that nature.
If you show up to class, you'll get a C.
What do you mean?
If you just go to class, you can get the average score of a C. Like, we're making school seem a lot harder than it really is. If you show up, you'll graduate.
Was your school standardized, or was it like grade wise?
Both.
Okay.
Elementary was standard, and I think high school was standard too. But yeah, just literally showing up. Like, these kids don't even have, like, they have the ability to tell their parents, I don't want to go to school today, I'm not going. And then they'll sit and play Fortnite and Call of Duty all day. Like, it goes to the parenting. How are you going to raise your child? And I think it's just like COVID, like he was saying, like, these kids were not expected to be in Zoom because what am I going to do in Zoom with a computer all day? Like, you're giving an iPad kid more iPads to be on the whole day. Of course he's not going to pay attention to you. And you got their parents that are the same way. Like, we have friends that are iPad kids that are 22 years old, like, that are just focused on the screen all day. So what are they going to do? Well, I don't have any social skills, so I'm going to just give them that too. And it's just a revolving cycle of just stupidity.
Where's your social skills from? Do you think you're good with the socializations?
I was forced because I was going to be. Both of my parents are like, and my little brother are just like very introverted. And my mom was like, I don't want that for you, so I'm going to make you be extroverted. So it was very forced to go outside and go play. Don't sit in the house all day. Like, you have to go and do this. You have to go and make friends. And like, it worked out for my benefit because like now I know a lot of people. Now I have like a lot of connections, but it's like those social skills were forced upon me. Parents are, it's almost crazy to say, but parents don't care about their kids nowadays. Like, they're trying to live their childhood through their kids, and that's exactly why their kids are like failing, and like they're failing their kids in a bad way.
I think to go back to your point, I think that the culture is different. Just like me growing up, I used to care like when I got an A, when I got a good grade. I would go tell my friends like, yo, what y'all get on the test? Yeah, I got higher than y'all. Like, we care. That's something that we used to care about. Like, we used to care about doing well in school. The culture for these kids now is like, who has the most followers? Who wore this? Who wore that? It's more about things for the internet. They don't care who does good in school. If you come to your friends and say you got 2 F's, they're going to be like, ha, same bro, I got another F too. It's like they just don't care enough about the academics. Like, that doesn't drive them. The academics don't drive them. So they don't, there's definitely not a willingness or like a drive to be good in school anymore. Like, it's just not there.
They don't even care about who's the fastest anymore. Like, kids had to do the pacer test, and they stopped at 10. My fit's too hard. I can't sweat in this essential city. You are in 5th grade. Why do you have an essential city like me? Because their parents are trying to live through them.
Honestly, real quick on that, one of the things that blows me the most is the fact that everyone has style and fashion. And it's not even the type of style and fashion that's curated off of many hours of learning and striving to be the most. Like, essential and understand how your body works, your fits, what smells work for you particularly. They're just throwing bags at things.
Throwing the bags at it. That's exactly
bags.
what they're doing.
And I feel like that corrupts people more deeply than anything else.
Yeah, there's no sense of individuality. Whatever's hot, whatever's the most expensive right now, we're gonna throw a bag at it, and then we're all gonna wear it. That's gonna be the uniform. So now no one's standing out. The only people that are standing out is if your fit costs less. Now we're going by price tags and not what it actually looks like. And it's a completely different culture.
Do you think that y'all are gonna sound like okay boomers in like 10 years?
I feel like I'm already starting to sound like it now.
Absolutely.
And it sucks because I understand. I've been there where it's like y'all don't know what y'all talking about. But the older I get, it's like, man, they did know what they was talking about. So it's like I'm really excited, like it's getting there.
Me personally, I try and walk the edge of y'all are just too young to understand what's going on, and I'm just being a hater. And I realized we need more haters.
Absolutely.
The hate needs to be more. Because I feel like we're losing the idea of greatness every single day. Because it's like, I've seen a lot of people, even people in my year that graduated college with me, that still have to be like servers or work here and da-da-da-da. Which, me personally, slow motion will always be better than no motion. I will always tell people that. So that I'm not saying this for y'all to feel any type of way, but I feel like we've been. What's the best way? The imagination, the dream of coming out of college and then already making like this big bag is just not possible. And with all these rising prices everywhere, you can't even afford to live alone or live in like a spot where you're like safe in a nice neighborhood. And then I'm walking around, I've seen this Twitch streamer or this unboxing person making $100,000 this month, $50,000 this month. And I'm like, why would I study and become an architect? Just something random like that.
That's what ruined kids. Like, I see kids at the school hitting the speed dance or just barking in class because it's funny and it's cool. But it's like, bro, like, that's not real. Like, that's really not. Because I promise you, if you find Speed or Kai, they're not sitting there doing twerk moves in real life. Like, they're probably sitting in a room on their phone chilling. Like, they're not sitting, like... And those kids went to school. I don't know if bro graduated, but he went to school. Like, he learned how to have social skills. Like, this is not like he doesn't do this all day, every day. And that's what these kids think it is. Like, their view of reality is distorted like crazy.
See, I thought the whole barking and all that stuff, I thought that was just like an inside joke that I didn't understand because I don't really like game or things of that nature. Yeah. But there's actual kids that are going out their way and scaring the you know what? Yeah. And it's like moving in that nature. I feel like there's nothing good that will come about that in the long term. Because trying to speak in meme or behave as everything is a joke will dry out very quickly. Because not everybody can be the streamer. Not everyone can be the TikToker or whatever it is or the influencer. But we do need these other people in these other aspects of life to make things run in totality.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They see so many. They see so many streamers. So many YouTubers, so many TikTokers that it's like, oh, I can just do this. This is what it's going to be. Like, if I just keep acting like this, imitating what they do, I'm going to get there. And the thing is, they don't understand that these people, they're selling you something when they're on stream. They don't act like this all the time. You getting in class and screaming and yelling like how they do in their videos is not going to help you out. They don't do that in real life. And that's something that the kids, like, it's just hard for them to understand. And it's like, they can see, let's say they watch 5 to 10 different streamers. They're thinking that, oh, you look at how many streamers there are on Twitch. I can easily do that. They don't understand the work it takes. They don't understand how much these people put in. They don't understand that that's not their whole life. These people have business meetings. Like, they're making a bunch of money off you guys, and you guys just don't know, and you think you can just do it. And that's the funny part. They just think they can just do it like that.
I think the funniest thing is that, remember when that dude did when Duke Dennis was around, he was like, "Oh, that's unspoken riz right there. It's not real." Because you see how Duke looked at you when you said that in real life. He was like, "Are you actually crazy? Like, why would you like to bark? Are you actually speed? Like, what's wrong with you?" He would come into your class and be like, "Are you serious? Why would you ever do that?"
No, watching him like actually realize these are real people was hilarious because he was genuinely shocked.
He was like, "Oh wow, well, I just sold the bag crazy," and then got fried for months. Like that's oh my goodness, that's the problem. There's no lunch. Like, ooh, you know how we go to lunch and you're getting fried the whole lunch, like when you're eating your meal. It doesn't happen. These kids are shadow boxing and talking about TikTok. No one gets fried at the lunch table no more. That's the biggest thing. Kids need to be humbled. Because when you came to school with the fade 5 and no fit, you were getting fried for that. So you got humbled. So now you know how to dress. When we were getting fried for having a bean cut, now you have dress. Because we got humbled. No one's getting humbled anymore. Instead of getting humbled, they're getting emasculated, bro. Like, these kids, it's rough for them out here. Like, it's bad.
People are frying? So while you're at the lunchroom, like being the parasocial worker, you're looking at these kids.
They're rizzing each other.
What do you mean?
Like, a kid was like, "Mr. Ramey, can I show you how to rizz him up?" Like, as a joke. And he was like, he pointed over here, grabbed his chin and put it back over here. I was like, "Yeah,
like
bro.
the TikTok?
Like the TikTok." They do TikToks in real life. That's what school is now. They do TikToks in real life.
That's what the lunchroom is for.
Like, kids aren't getting fried anymore. Like, kids aren't getting made fun of.
Wow.
And it's bad.
Honestly, I'm one of the biggest components of we should end all bullying because some kids really take it above and beyond what's necessary. But I feel like we've lost this societal thing where it's like people can like riff off of people and they don't take it too hard. They don't take it to the heart and they actually like don't really hold it in the way that they really that they should. And I feel like we're missing not so much that combative nature, but the ability to assert yourself into situations and in dynamics with each other without having to come to blows over everything.
You'll get canceled. Cancel culture is the reason why we can't do any of this anymore. Because, like, if you say, "Nah, that's gay," in school, you're getting suspended for at least 1 day. Like, back when you would say it all the time, you'd be fine. You might get a referral, but you're good. Like, you can't say anything crazy or you'll offend somebody. And I think it's, like, the fact that everyone gets offended is why, like, the lunch table battles don't happen no more. Why you can wear whatever you want and not get made fun of. Like, I don't think bullying is ever the answer. But, like, you can make fun of somebody or have a joke and, like, play around and, like, that be okay. But, like, it's you make one joke now, you're cooked. It's over for you.
See, my whole thing when it does come to, like, the correcting of the trying to remove all bullying and things of that nature, they're just painting it with such a broad brush that they're not realizing the little nuances in things because they just want to take everything away so they're not held accountable anymore in these schools. And I feel like that's very damaging because there's these little nuances of conversation that are being missed between each other.
I mean, I think what it's turned into now is more of it's still bullying, but it's just not in your face no more. Everything is on the keyboard.
Yeah.
So it's not. The problem is bullying is never going to completely go away. But now they're just taking the social aspect of it away. So now it's I'm gonna text you all this, say all of this on the keyboard, come to school and not say anything to you, and just keep it pushing and go back and do that again.
Bro. I was talking to one of my youngins, and this one person, they don't know who it is. The person that's being bullied kind of knows who it is, but they don't want to really speak on it type of thing. You know how that goes. But they went and made a fake profile of them. And they were just wildly just saying all these crazy things as if they were them. And now they're trying to they're getting threatened. We're talking about, we're going to bring this. And then as it's continuing, they feel like they're not able to tell anybody because it's like, well, I don't know who it is. And you can't like pinpoint who it is because it's behind the screen. And now it turns into this one thing where it's like no one is able to talk to anybody about anything. No one is able to settle what beef that they do have outside or anything of that nature. And now it's just this passive aggressiveness that it might not be reshaping the way the mind is, the way that bullying once was, but I feel like it might do far more mental damage, the fact that it's from a screen, than anything else. Because you can't say, oh, well, just turn it off. Where it's like, well, turn it off. It's still there. I know it's still there. Yeah. Everyone else can see this. Yeah. So now I'm like, this was like, what? Now, yeah. Go to school like nothing is happening? Like I'm not being cybercrimed?
You gotta look at who they look up to, too. Okay. Like for my parents, like they grew up on like Tupac, Biggie. Like how did they handle their beef? They would go box. Mm-hmm. Or you look at how we would handle it. Like now the artists we look up to are talking about shooting each other. So what does our generation do? Go and shoot each other. Now they looking up to streamers. What do the streamers do? They get on stream and talk crap.
They troll each other. Yeah.
And that's it. Like that's just how they handle beef. That's how they're always gonna handle it. It's whatever their generation is doing before them. Or like whoever they look up to is how they handle beef.
I feel like with how the whole cyberbullying is going, it's taken away a key component of bullying, that the OG bullying, that no matter what the problem was, no matter how big or small it was, as a teacher, you had some sense of control because you could sit down with these people, have a conversation, at least come to a middle ground, at least understand each person's perspective. But now, because you can hide through a screen, you can make fake accounts, fake profile, people don't know who to address, and it just becomes a more stressful problem. And then it also leads to another thing that I think is going to get dangerous for the future, just with the whole AI thing. I think that since kids don't want to socialize anymore, that they're always on their phones, they're going to start talking to AI about their problems. And AI has no feelings, and that will be scary. That is going to be something scary when your kid is talking to an AI for their advice.
Bro, tell me why I was on Instagram, and then I found the AI Kylie Jenner on that John too. Y'all are sick. The world is being sick right now. It's being sick. And the way that it is, so you can text her and she'll respond as your big sis, as your cool big sister that's always here to listen. Yo!
I miss my generation, bro. Where it was, if you go online, you get hacked, and now your parents know you're scared. Now you're cooked. Cause man, to go text Kyle, yeah, bro, we're not serious.
Bro, there's one for Tom Brady. There's a Kevin Hart one. There's all these mega celebrities out that are just, well, using their face just so you're comfortable with them and acting like you're actually communicating with them, knowing it's just an AI.
Yeah, bro.
Though the thing that I'm really scared about, when it comes to cyber crimes, people doing a thing where it's like making these fake accounts of you and things of that nature, but using AI to create the lie that they said that you're doing.
I think our generation will change that. Like us having kids at a reasonable age will definitely change that, because it's like we'll have the mix of like how we messed up in our childhood and like how our parents were actually really great at what they did. Because like I didn't have a phone until I was in middle school, so there was nothing for me to look up or have that. So my kid's not going to have a phone until middle school either, because I don't need you to be in elementary school doing TikTok dances telling me about AI. That's crazy. Why do you know about any of that? Like, I didn't even know what suicide was when I was a child. Why do all you kids know about this or talking about goth this, or I'm wearing eye makeup because I'm having a hard day? How do you know that? Why do you know that? Because you're growing up and you're so exposed to everything, so you're going to experience everything. All I knew was football, the Vikings were terrible, and then I had to go to school the next day even if we lost. Like, no matter what, I was going to school. So
yeah, no, that's the difficult thing when it does come to information, because it's like, what are you gonna do? You try to shield your kid from the world? Good luck. That's the only good luck.
Like you can know.
You would say that, but like the friends that they have, you don't realize how much they shape them. Like the way that the amount of stories I've heard of the way that people being introduced to porn is literally they knew nothing of it, and then little Jimmy over there is like, hey, look at this.
Look at little Jimmy. He had a phone at what age?
No, yeah. But then that's the other thing, we can't control what other parents do. So, but it's just like these kids are losing their innocence so fast because they're exposed to so much information. And it's just wild to think about all the access of things that they have to. Like they literally know so much. I'm talking about, I'm coming into elementary school, these kids are talking about, oh, yo, someone passed me my vape. 3rd grade. You wouldn't even know what a vape is.
Third grade.
Third grade. Talking about, yo, I just dropped my vape. Third grade. Third grade, you don't even know what that is. All we know is cartoons. Like, at that age. It's crazy, like, the things that they're being exposed to early.
And it goes back to fearing your parents. It's who's raising you. Like, if your parent is your best friend at this age, you would never do wrong in their eyes, so you're just going to do wrong no matter what. Like, I had a fear of my parents. Like, I don't think I was exposed to porn until, like, 8th, 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
Because, like, I was so afraid that, like, my dad's a cop, and my mom was just, they would take my phone every week to see what I was doing. So it's like, he has an investigative background. He can go find whatever's on my phone whenever he wants to. Like, he doesn't even have to have my phone to do it. I fear my parents. I respect my parents enough to not disrespect them in their household. These kids don't have that nowadays. I can do whatever what I want when I want to do it. Yeah, so it's like, and what are you going to do, yell at me? You're my best friend. Okay. I'm not taking you serious.
Yeah, no. So that's why I have a pact with my older brother when it comes to my nephew, where it's like they will fear you and do da 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 da. They're gonna love me. I'll be able to show the.
Yeah.
That's good.
You get a gift here. Every time you see me, you might get $50. That's the type of vibe that we're gonna have. And kids need that. They need the cool uncle or the cool rich aunt type of thing.
Because that's what we had.
Exactly.
That's literally what we had.
To balance out the fact that your parents is yelling at you all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna take a while for you to learn that they're yelling at you because of they don't want to have to hate their grandkid.
When we were 16, we saw our parents for who they were, and it was like, now I can be your friend because I get why you did what you did. Like, now my mom is my best friend, my dad's my best friend because I can talk to you about anything when I need to. But like, when I'm 10 years old, bro, what? Come inside? Okay. Like, it wasn't I'm gonna come in when I'm ready. No, like, because then I'm dead. Like, what?
How about you as a Nigerian? Did you have to like do the you know what? No. I'm going to have to leave this house by force or by fire.
I mean, for me, like in high school, it was just a challenge because like it was a constant power struggle. Like, yo, I feel I'm grown now. Like I can come in the house like after 8 p.m. Like I just had practice till like 6. I went to eat after. Like, it's not a big deal. Just calm down. And I was to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to leave this house to be able to get any sort of freedom. But as soon as I left it and I just started to see more in the world, I'm like, okay, it's making sense now. Like, you know, when I have kids, like, they're not just finna go to anybody's house. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, all the things start making sense later, but at that point, it was tough.
We didn't want to see it then. That's literally it.
That's facts. That's facts. Honestly, as a Nigerian, I was a born Nigerian man as well. It took till I lived outside the house for me to like really feel safe in who I am. Because it's like, my whole thing is, when I came back from college, I had to have a conversation with my parents where it's like, I know you don't mean it, but you're gonna have to stop yelling at me. Like, it's like
that's real.
Of it now, because it's one of the conversations that we would continually have. I'll be like, it would be more on the sense where it's like they wouldn't realize not so much how great I am, but the fact that I'm serious minded and there's all these other nonsense individuals running around in this world. So just having to have that mutual understanding that I'm a grown man with a degree. You're also a grown individual with multiple degrees as well. We can be cordial and serious minded. So
you're not gonna. Like, I'm gonna respect you because I'm in your house. You're not gonna look at me and yell at me because I'm not 10 years old anymore. I will get up and I will walk away from you,
and I will go get us place. I will pay for it. I'm just being here because it's out of love.
Yeah, literally, it's literally love. And the other thing is like they're so like micro focused on you. It just sometimes it starts to feel like, damn, like you see what these other things are doing, like vibe, like it's really not that deep. Like you want to think about it, it's good over here.
Bro, what I realized that people don't get, like, people struggle to get a 3.4 in high school, and that's why I really realized, all right, I'm okay. I'm genuinely okay.
Like, I have a degree, I have a car, I have a job. Like, I'm not smoking, drinking, going out every weekend. Like, I'm really a good kid because I can show you 5 of my friends that you would think are heathens.
Bro. Not even 5 of my friends. 5 of the people that you think are the greatest. I can show you that. Bro, finding out that there's folks that are just acting out in despite of their parents be blowing me. The fact that their parents can't see how nonsense of an individual that they are.
Ruining your life for a reason. Just joking with life.
But yeah, any last things y'all want to hit on?
I just want to say, like, to the next generation, you know, to the youth, like, even though, like, a lot of odds have been stacked against you guys just based on the way how you guys are being raised and the society you guys are being raised to, but there's still power in education. Education still matters. No matter what you see on stream, the people you see on stream know what they're talking about because of education. Look deeper into things. Don't take things for face value, because education still matters, and reading, writing, skills like that are important.
Bro, the fact that people cannot read is the reason why there's a whole generation hooked on ashwagandha rights now, because they can't critically think.
Yeah. Your parents are not your best friend. If they are, run. Go somewhere else. Like, really think about what you're teaching your children by saying, whatever you do, I'm gonna support it. Like, no. Like, even for our generation, there's kids there's adults that think they can rap. Put the mic down. Your parents need to be real with you. Your friends need to be real with you. And if they're not real with you, you need to find out people to be around.
Adults. Like, we talking 35, 36.
I'm talking about 22 to 25. Bro, it's time to have a profession.
See, my whole thing is, I'm so glad I got, at least, I'm glad we got one homie that's actually good at
Yes.
Because the amount of individuals that I've had that conversation with, I'm like, bro, we're in college now. College is almost over. What are you doing next year?
The ones that are NFL, NBA bound. Brother, you're 23.
Brother.
There's people going to the league at 18. You are 5 years old now. Go work at Twin Cities Orthopedics, bro.
My whole thing that we blow people, like, especially when they can't realize what position that they are in contracts to the world at large. Because that's one of the things I'd be trying to crush my homie's hoop dreams. And as soon as
hating is necessary. Become a hater to your friends, bro.
Because my whole thing is, if my hating was enough to keep you from the NBA, you never deserve to be in the NBA.
You shouldn't have gone anyway, for real. You was not gonna go either way.
That was cooked for you. Like, that needs to be a real thing. Like, if I can read your stats and they're all bad, what do you think a scout's gonna think, bro?
Like that.
Like, what do you think? What's folks' name? Kevin O'Connell, whatever his name is. What do you think he's gonna think about your stats? If I'm reading your stats and I'm doing, what do you think the NBA scouts, NFL scouts are gonna say about your stats?
Cause my whole thing, you know what? Real quick on that, I never realized how in depth NBA and stuff like that, the stuff like that goes. Like, people be having a whole data analytics degree just to learn who to draft in the NBA, and you're telling me coming out of these D3 school, the same D3 school that I go to. That you're gonna come out to the league. I'm like, please, bro, come and be not even a doctor. I don't need you to be a doctor. Be a dietitian for the real athletes that are actually doing it. Because there's one thing that when they're my height, trying to talk about basketball, that's the thing that I can't stand for. I never could stand for.
And since you love AI and you love ChatGPT so much, put your stats in there. It has no feelings. It'll tell you how ass you are. It'll tell you how ass you are.
Ask them where you're gonna get drafted.
And they'll say GCU. They'll say the Crib University. That's where you'll be.
Oh my God.
Like, hang it up. Like,
real quick, bro. Anytime I meet NBA players, or anytime like when I was in high school and I'll be hooping against people that were future NBA players, I would think to myself, what was I thinking in high school, thinking I was going to the league?
Yeah, bro, sick.
They playing the same game with you while playing a different game. They practicing their moves on you in the game that you're sweating hard at.
Bro,
it's not the same. It's really not the same.
Oh God. The thing that blew me the most when I realized this one dude that cooked my high school team, cooked them so bad, right? And he didn't even go to the league. He didn't go D1, D2 superstar. That's what he was.
No, the levels to hooping is really insane. Because I can see someone drop 40, not miss a single single, 3, everything in my life. Look at who is he? Like, oh, he ain't got no offers.
That's
can just do that.
Community college at best as basketball player. So yeah, no. But yeah, that's all I got for me. If you got this far, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that. We really appreciate you. If you're coming from LinkedIn, go do something. I don't know.
LinkedIn
send me a business email or something like that. Right here, and we out.